Good morning. It's February 24th, and today we talked to CBC, Globe and Mail, W5, the Fifth Estate, and we've got some backup. A guy named Mustafa who knows more about the Illuminati, Freemasons, Jews, Israel than anybody I've ever met, and human trafficking and child trafficking. He's been targeted by the hospital, by the RCMP, and then we'll talk about my involuntary chemical castration, possibly something else that was done. Dr. White, I do remember Crystal Ruby Manuel and your nice little wink that you both gave each other. So we'll talk about interior health, we'll talk about the damages of incarceration, and then we're also going to put together a plan for $1.8 million acquisition strategy. We're going to send that off to Taiwan and show them probably about a 30-fold increase over 5 years with an innovative building design. And if they don't like it, then we're going to go to India, and if they don't like it, we're going to go to China. But we're going to try and get everybody in on this one, bringing money in from out of town, looking at Youth Alchemy Society, nonprofit, and also some cancer research. And one of the ways we're going to be doing this is we're going to be selling single-page pieces of art. Art will be auctioned in Taiwan, created in Canada, and all countries that are interested can get into cryptocurrency or fiat, and they will be sending funds through Taiwan, through the auction house, and they'll get their piece of art, and then that will be part of the equity for the 1.6 or 1.8 mil plus taxes plus 5-year expenses will be included in, and then we'll do we'll have to go bid to tender for up to 20 stories, I think it is. I can't remember what it is. And then I'm going to tell a little bit more of a story. I'm going to warn about the dangers of putting a bleach-soaked sponge in your vagina in order to elicit a great photo shoot for the spy cams above. There's about 30 people at Hotel Z on that night. I've got most of their license plates. And I did call the cops that day just to make sure Crystal Ruby Manuel was okay and not having a nervous breakdown. But she did say, stop, 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 it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, ow, 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 so many times. And all she was talking about was my questions and the lights. Or, maybe it's just acting. Because one of the first times I've seen her smile was yesterday. And I said, you actually fucking hate me, don't you? And she lit up like it was a natural smile. The first time I've seen something natural. And then we're going to talk about some vermilion-based creep catchers, and that's going to trickle down through a few different regions, and how they have access to veterinary medicines that would probably be stuck in my ass to make me infertile or attempt to change my sex. And this will be stuff that, thankfully I've got a guy in Toronto who's been studying child molestation, child trafficking, and human trafficking, as well as the elite, the Freemasons and the Illuminati, for just about 15 years. Jews, he knows a lot about Israel. It's a very big blessing to have run into him today. I actually had to ask, I haven't asked him yet, but we did talk on the phone. He actually answered the phone. And he was firing so much information I didn't think I'd get anything done. So those are the goals of the day. Now, the other thing that's really interesting is when we look at a city of Kelowna and the breaches of human rights, this is a very small city, like 200,000. It's like a small town. But 200,000 people pretty much willing to engage in psychological, physical, mental, emotional, you name it, any kind of torture that you could actually exist. View it, monetize it, steal, because of some it's actually an inhumane and illogical, and the Good Samaritan law is actually one of the laws in Canada, so is the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And because of these laws, when we break this out to W5, people will carry this. And if they aren't going to carry it, we'll black web it, because, the black web seems to be pretty popular. And we really would like to see some value in this, wouldn't we? Like, I think we could, there's probably a way that we could keep it quiet. I do know there's a hit on my life right now, according to some of the streets. I think it was issued yesterday by the cartel, maybe, or some little zoo-owning strip pole, like greasy strip club out of Edmonton. And then there's quite a bit of rape going on here too. That I'll stand up for her, and I'll say good luck catching me. A lot of it starts with drugs. There's something called angel's dust or devil's dust. I'm not sure what it is, but it's basically, I don't even know what it is. It's not PCP, but it's something you just blow into someone's face like that, and boom, they're instantly suggestive. They're hypnotized, and you can't believe much of what Crystal Ruby Manuel says, but I do believe she's been raped more times than she could remember. That is a fact. And we're one day after International Human Trafficking Awareness Day. In Canada, the human trafficking recruitment, which is about 90% women, typically starts between the ages of 10 and 13 years old. 10 and 13 years old. Now, where do you think they're trafficking these people? First, you go to the social system, right? So anybody who's in an adopt-a-house or raised by the system, all those social workers that are doing amazing things, they're pretty much like the first pimp. And I'm not saying it's all bad, but that's, if you're going to, it's like recruiting to a cult. Where are the least supported, most vulnerable, predominantly women, like I said, 90%, they're in the social systems, they're in foster care. And they start at 10 to 13 years old. They might not pimp these girls out until they're 18, 19, 25. That's for real. And that's in Canada. Within 1 kilometer of everywhere, or maybe it's 10, I can't remember, any city in Canada within 1 or 10 kilometers, I can't remember, check out the Joy Smith Foundation. That is an absolute leading organization out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, that is trying to give support to victims of human trafficking. And then also, throw a piece of moose hide on you. The moose hide campaign is, an initiative that is across Canada, and it just kind of symbolizes, no more missing children and women, which is, kind of a good thing, I think. So hopefully Crystal Ruby Manuel will be safe today and doesn't go missing. So I do know there's some life insurance policies that are out in probably my name. I don't think her name, unless she got her mail stolen from Metro Church. So Metro Community Church now, we've got a little bit of a falling out, I would have to say. It's not because of their arrogance. It's more because of their tolerance, their acceptance, their awareness. And then, even though they speak, they've got a beautiful prayer. I can't remember what it's called. It's something like, let me stand up for the people that are downtrodden, the views, the oppressed, and let me be stupid enough to think that I can make a difference. I think that's about it. There's a whole bunch more words in there, but let me, just me, be stupid enough to think that I can make a difference. Now, when I asked one of the new pastors there about an innovative idea, like I'm talking, this is game-changing. There's not many apartment. I'm not going to give this out. I'm going to go through a lawyer first, so you guys stop stealing stuff. But we're still going to, we're going to get the news lined up, because I think you're going to stop stealing. I just have a feeling. But I don't trust you. I don't trust a single human. Not in this town. Not in this world right now. They're not really humans. Okay, we've went beyond what is humans. I trust dogs. I trust robots. Don't trust men. Don't trust women. And I trust up to about 3 years old, maybe 2 years old. I trust them. Anything after that, not at all. So that's going to be the day. And then I got to get a hold of Crystal. The one that insulted me, acted with me. It's totally bait. She set me up right from the word go. Now maybe it would have been Lee Kwan Zhao that kind of prepped her on all this. It could have been Elaine. It could have been Curtis McNaught. There's a whole bunch of people that could have done it. Rory. When you get a drug addict like that who's been on the streets for 20 years, so she says. I don't actually know whether she's born in Victoria or Nanaimo, but she's from Edmonton. She might have a chip too. So this is what you're really going to like when I start sharing this with Mustafa. He's got access to the chips that are smaller. I worked with a guy that I think has a lot of employees. And the size of some of the devices that you will see, or actually you will not see. And that is amazing. Now he's also got information on the teeth, I haven't talked to him about EEG heterodyning and the 5G or the 3G implementation. I haven't also talked to him about any of the radioisotopes, which are probably implanted, a little bit RNA adjusting um, chemicals that were inserted. And he was surprised to learn about the nanotech that's probably inserted in my eye. And that might have been a one percenter. And then hopefully I get down to the Indian Eatery on Leon. Amazing place. And I maybe missed an opportunity, but I was like, I'm tired. I've got a lot of stress in my mind right now. And I shouldn't really be that stressed. You shouldn't be stressed. You should just always focus on the good things. But when you got a group of people like these man-hating whatever they are that are trying to frame you for, well, they've been posting content to make me look like a pedophile, and now they're trying to frame me for, probably rape or something like that, to a very damaged individual, damaged beyond the point, like ECT therapy, uh, maybe acid, like LSD. You could maybe do like a brain shock with acid. You could do a valproic acid shock. There's a couple other drugs you could do. Because this is, that's what happened to me when I went crazy, and that was due to incarceration. So we're going to talk to a couple lawyers and get all this out. And money is coming my way, and you know what? I don't really care too much about money. I want a car. I think I'd like to know where the keys to the van are. They're over there. But I think we're at the stage right now. It's like, could I have an Aston Martin? Because when we start looking at the property, the design, this is all theoretical, but I know the legal framework is insane, and it's right outside the cancer clinic. And this is, China's got some stuff curing cancer right now, and we have some stuff that's curing cancer right here, but we haven't actually implemented the right way to reduce a certain percentage of costs that are advantageous to all of the owners of the units, and that's what we're going to do. It's 11 minutes, 15 minutes. Apparently, I don't know. I don't believe anything I hear or see on TV, on the internet. I don't even believe it if it happens right in front of my face. Wildlife could be droned, could be controlled. Sun showers, no weather. Like you think about what some of the Jewish and Chinese people are capable of doing, but I do have extreme faith in something bigger than that. I can't explain it. It's just like I think Alexander Tesla called it the ethos. And you guys might call it God or whatever. I don't know. And I'm a minister. That's another real bad thing to be, because you get accused of, especially if you talk about just the history. Okay, and I'm not saying every Roman Catholic priest has raped choir boys and nuns, but it's a flavor that has been there. And hockey guys, baseball guys, football guys, I'm not saying you're all big jock, Barbie banging, pretty chivalrous, very disrespectful dudes that just like arm candy. I'm not saying that at all. I think Wayne Gretzky and his wife were married for a long time. There's all kinds of good things out there, but that bad apple, if you don't take care of well, first of all, bad apple wrecks the whole crop. Okay, if it's a fungus, like wheat, like if we're talking about Russian war, and we're trying to sterilize their crop for a bit, to make them dependent on food, but that's way beyond what we're worrying about. We're worrying about Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada right now, okay? And maybe a little bit of Japan, but maybe Taiwan. I really think Taiwan. And India, and maybe, I don't know, depends on the market here. Maybe some Jewish investment. BlackRock might find some value in this. I would, if it were me, and yes, the blessings are coming. The blessings are coming your way. And if we look at the First Nation mentality, we just say the blessings are coming our way. Not a commune, but international money should be coming here. As long as we present it right, deliver it right, and we've got the right resources to meet their expectations when they come here. And this is where the Bernard Avenue situation that is also in the plans, where the old HSBC bank was, and then across the street, I got a plan for those two buildings that is going to be cheaper, and there's gonna have to be a change. You gotta be able to, and everybody's got, a few people have polio. Some people use walkers, but there's a certain presentation that has to occur if we want, Dubai billionaires coming to India. Okay, and town of Columbus, this kind of goes for the construction too. Like, I like the guy walking around spraying the paint, the orange stuff. That's all he does. That's all he does. He's got a can of paint on a stick. And then what happens? Don't you think that's like a 5-minute fix? Maybe 10? Paint and tool right there, it's done. I don't know, just saying. But the solution that we have coming up could fix that. 15 minutes. February 24th. 10 days after Valentine's Day. Crystal, classes, taxes, your ass. See Canadian Dental Care Plan. A list of names, and I just saw in the States a guy shot someone who raped his daughter, and they said, "Good on ya, go home, have a steak." No time. Quick court case. Didn't even need to call the cops. But we've got some very good RCMP here in Kelowna. Very good military people, great ambulance people, great fire department people. The hospital's even really, really good. Wink, wink. I haven't seen who has passed away in the last 30 years. Like it's like 40 to, I don't know, what do you think, 35? How about 18, 16? That's what you make Crystal look like, don't you? But I haven't seen who's passed away. I haven't read the obituaries very much. And I don't know what's going on in Colombia, but I know some tourists down there. The cartel seems to be lighting it up down there, you know what I mean? And this is something you have to worry about. The drugs and the human trafficking in a progressive manner, which means an adaptation to the industries. These are big industries. And you do not want to go head to head with some people that are on crystal meth and cocaine and thinking you're going to go with the war on drugs. In Saskatchewan, about a decade ago, maybe 2, there was a two guys in a car on crystal meth, went to steal some fuel, or maybe they went to the house or something like that. The dog, a guard dog, farm dog, went and attacked one of them, hung off the guy's arm, and he didn't slow down. He got a dog hanging off, like right through. I think he got shot too. Did not slow down. Like he. Now, all of you very stoic and strongly principled, die-hard soldiers that are not gonna use drugs. Unless you're David Goggins, you ain't doing it. And even David Goggins ain't gonna do it with a dog hanging off his arm and a bullet through his chest. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. So you might want to think about some adaptation about this. And probably the easiest one would be zoning. Zoning. And it's adult area. That's the only way. And if we can get rid of the meth and the benzodiazepines and the fentanyl and get to opium and cocaine, we are now getting back to nature. This is not a terrible thing. And if we did it in some Canadian reserves there, it's not a bad idea. But baby steps. 19 minutes. I don't even know if we'll be able to keep up with all that, but that's the plans for the day. Good luck. God bless you. Follow the lights.